Hey guys, I'm back with another video, not on the cars but on assembling this 4-post hoist I've bought so I can fit the two cars in here and get rid of all this congestion I've got at the moment. I've got cars down the driveway, big fuck off 6.5 metre tinny here, so need some space. So this is the car fresh out the paint shop, my white LJ 72 August XU1. So supposedly, arguably a Bathurst spec car. It's got killer paint now. Got the globies on it. Look at the lines, they're mad. Just picked it up last week. Look at the back. I'll do a couple of videos on this once I done the engine bay up. I'll do a video, maybe tidy this engine up. I'm going to do some work to that. That's just a bog stock Bathurst motor. And watch the other video there on this beast. I've been asked a few times about this genuine LC GDR 1970 with the JZ. There it is with the 4448s. I did a little video on that and it fucking flies, absolutely fucking flies. But anyway, we'll do, it's not while we're here. So what I'm going to do here, it's just me, and I'll just flick this ramp here. This was 840 kilos. It came in a pack from Superior Hoist, a little under 4,000 bucks, and that's freight to the territory, so it's about 70-80 for freight. So yeah, that's the extra high lift. As you can see, it's very, very heavy duty. I just nearly blacked out trying to flip this fucking thing. Weighs a ton. There's not much weight in these, so I mean these ramps, this one here with a cylinder, how I'm going to go about that, but I'll figure it out. So it's just, I've just got a sack truck. I've got a sling here. That's how I unloaded it. They come along, and a few other slings here. What else I got? Yeah, sack truck. I've got these wheel dollies. Right, these are just what I use from this one here when I'm pushing it around, because I got broken into a few weeks ago and these fuckers stole all the keys for this car. So I've alarmed the shed now, and I've just had to tuck it away in there while I've been away. So back home now, so yeah, it's time to get into business. All right, I'll be back. So I just wanted to show you legends this, because I'm all about safety. Working barefoot and in my undies here. I'm not a fag, it's just fucking hot. 20th of Jan in the territory. Anyway, so lifting this, right? This is obviously going to skate that way. Look at the angle of that chain, especially on these. So I've had the ladder set up there. When this comes, boom, slides across, knocks me cunt up off the ladder. So also, look at that. Here's the middle of the hoist. Well, I think it is. It's where the weld is. Alright. And I've slung it offset slightly to counteract the weight of that cylinder, which is fairly solid. Also, double choked these slings back on themselves, sort of as far back as I could. Alright. So when that lifts and hangs, it should hang just on the piss a little bit. So then it's easy when I lower it to lay it back down. Righto. See you after. G'day legends, back. So I've just put in these cross beams now. Alright. Sort of laid the posts out. There's the other side there. Stickers on the outside here. That's where the hydraulic pump motor mounts, on the back left hand post. Once I dropped those in, I then slid these locking ladders in and they just slot it in across there. Then I've lifted those beams up, just lift it up, and you can lift that one bloke and hear it engage, click, click into the bottom of both those rails, like so. Then I've just slung this. This is the cylinder ramp, because it's where the motor is going to be running, so it's got the hydraulic fitting there. Then I'm just going to bolt that up loosely, drag this across, bolt this end up loosely. All right, I've got that one on the dolly, so I'll be able to maneuver that around, sort of probably put it horizontally, and then move this sling back over here, drop it down, pick this ramp up like that, swing it like that, and then drop it down, and I'll bolt that up loosely. Get the tape measure out, measure across diagonals, get it within probably about 10 mil, because everything will just be able to move around easily, and then bolt it all up, and it should be nice and square then. Righto, I'll post something again when I make some more progress. G'day legends, just checking in, made a little bit of progress here. Yeah, this morning just put these plates in place. Those bolts are still loose, everything's still loose, and they just sit there either end just to stop the vehicle from potentially rolling off. And then just what else I've been doing this morning is jacking up each corner and installing these top plates. As you can see, I got that threaded rod, the nut and washer on top, which I've screwed on just flush with the top of that threaded rod. So in theory that bed should all be nice and flat, and I've just put 2 bolts on either side just to hold the plate all in place. And another thing too, those pointed parts of the brackets all have to point inwards. All right, that's it for now. Let's have some breakfast and I'll get back into it. Righto, I'll just show you a bit of the detail here around these cables. All right, they're a bit slack at the moment, but you want a bit slack. So this cover comes off, just one screw, and it's got to go over that side, because once that pulls tight, that'll pull that pin across and unlatch the ladder. All right, there's also got a little keeper bolt under there. Just, can you see that? To help keep that pulley in place, that the wire doesn't come off the pulley. And underneath, this came pre-reeved. There's a bit of mucking around. With them, they were just jamming because they're slack once it all pulls tight. So, and I've also had to extend this cylinder out, so I've got the length up there to get to the, so it reaches the top. They were only like going halfway up. So what I'll do now is I'll push this cylinder back in. Just do that with my foot. Push it back in, and then that'll pull up all these cables fairly tight. And then we'll prime the cylinder. Once we get the hydraulics on and running, prime that cylinder up and get all the air out of it. So it's all working. Fully assembled. Alright, I'll run you through a few things. So it goes up obviously. I'll had to wire in that plug, I had to go pick one of those up. It's no dramas, and put 10 litres of oil, not even actually, overflowed with, it says 10, but it probably took about 8. It's overflowed a little bit. It's gone up and down a few times, just prime all the air out of the lines, so that oil levels chockers with it all the way to the ground. So once you raise it, what you do is you just release it down like that, and each column lock in the ladder. This is what you do to release the lock, this lever. So I've had to set this up. There's a hole here that runs right through to the other side with another lever there, which just once you pull on that to go up a little bit to release it. Once you pull on that, it moves those, which then allows you, takes two hands to pull the lever and then release it at the same time. See what's happening there? The cables are coming down. That's because that far post is always going to be the one that catches. And if that happens, you just got to, because there's a flex in the in all the rods and the linkages, you lose. That's the furthest one away. Even though I've got fully adjusted, it still catches. So you go up a little bit, see it's tight. You release it. Now it's coming down okay. And that will go up, show you stuff underneath. So it goes plonk, release the oil, that's it. It's safe to get under here now. Okay, so these are where the rods come through. They come through these brackets here. There's a joiner in the middle. All right. It's another thing that comes through. I was heating up on that hydraulic line. I've just put that higher. And this is the bleed off hose, the cylinder. It was rubbing on this wire rope, but I've just cable tied that to that. Just cable tied that up to keep that off that wire rope. Keep that fitting up out of the way. Oh, I've put some, see all the pulleys are all good. So coming back down. I've sprayed it all with WD-40 because we've had a lot of rain here. And it was in the rain overnight. It did get a little bit of surface rust on some of the parts. So that's about it. So what I did to adjust, I basically locked all the ladders at the same height. They're all flush with the top of the nut. But when I came, you see this one's that top of that wire rope. I've taken the slack out of it, so I've had it all the way to the ground. And this wire rope and a couple of the others, I've just tightened them up just to take the slack out of them. So they're all sort of nice and not too taut, but taut when it's all the way down. Okay, so that's about it. That's about all I need to show you. Just with these linkages, just bought that short linkage on the inside, not the outside. And that goes across to there. Okay, so they're easy to set up. Once it's locked, just to make sure that slides on and it's not pulling on it. You don't have to pull this over to line it up, and it should be right. With, like I said, with that other one over there that's not releasing every time, it's because of the flex in that bar and the bit of, you lose a bit through the linkages. So as you come down, you've just got to keep an eye on it. If it's coming down okay, if not, it's got to go up a little bit, and then make sure you pull that lever and then bring it back down again. So yeah, all up, it's pretty easy to put together. I've done it all myself, as you've seen, and yeah, I think it's a great lift for what it's cost. There's no way you could build anything like this in Australia for under $4,000. You know, some of the quality on some of these, especially like these linkage bits, pretty average, you know, but the rest of it is really good. Yeah, I can't really knock it, to be honest. So yeah, I'll show you what it looks like once I got the cars. Once I get the cars up on it, but I'm gonna go have a beer, so I'll check in later. See you.